right. Well, your new position coach has been bragging on you over there. What's this transition been like for you to center?
It's something. I mean, it's definitely has its challenges. I mean, it's definitely different. With regard to center, the biggest thing obviously snapping the ball. But it's something that I kind of anticipated a little bit. Something that I started practicing some back in December, kind of picking up on the side a little bit. And I'll say it's something that I'm really excited about playing. And I think that's one of the biggest things for me. Like I love coming out to practice. I look forward to getting better at playing center. I think it's good for me now that I'm an upperclassman. I think it helps me be more enabled for a leadership position, leadership role. I'm kind of leading the guys, and it's something that I take a lot of accountability for, trying to get better each day, and I'm excited.
Did you play any center in high school or before that?
No, I never really played any center. When I did the All-American game, I did a little bit, but I've never really played center before.
Yeah, so is it difficult learning how to snap? I mean, what would you say is the most?
I'll say this: just learning how to snap isn't too hard. It's just learning how to snap with a good defensive lineman right across your face, and getting it there where it needs to be. So, I mean, just the snapping part. Like I could go out here in the field and just snap and run around, but it's those actual game time reps that you got to replicate in practice. You got a guy right across from you. You got to make calls. You got to communicate across the line because you're kind of like that lead mouthpiece. That's where it gets a little difficult.
Because I think we talked to Bockhorst about this last year, and having Brian Brzee right across from him, having guys like that across from you, does it make it harder to learn on the fly, or is it a good thing?
For me personally, no, and I can say that because I've played guard the past 2 years, so it's not that I'm not necessarily not used to the pressure of playing against them. Because I'll play against them if I'm playing guard, but now I'm just playing center, so it's not as much that. It's just for me, it's just an experience thing. It's just getting reps. I just need thousands and thousands and thousands of reps, but luckily I have time until August to do that, so that's what I'm doing right now.
How helpful has Hunter Rayburn been with you just kind of during this process?
Yeah, good. Hunter's been really good. I mean, he's a really good friend of mine. I've known him, and we came in together. But I'm really lucky to have him as a student coach. Same with Bockhorst back around, because it's just an extra set of eyes, and it's a set of eyes that are experienced. They've seen it through. They've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. And he can kind of just help me because Coach Austin, he's coaching all of us. Maybe Hunter, I can ask him, hey man, can you look at my snaps? Or hey man, like what do you see in my pass set and stuff like that, which is really helpful.
You mentioned that you started snapping a little bit in December. Was that? I mean, did the coaching staff come to you about maybe potentially transition the center at that point, or is this something that happened in the off season?
It's just something that I wanted to do. I mean, I think it's important. As a guard to also know how to play center. A lot of it wasn't necessarily the coaching staff, but just kind of the turnovers we had in the offensive line last year. We had a lot of guys getting injured, guys getting hurt, and COVID, you never know who was going to be in, who was going to be out, and it was just something that I wanted to do for myself to kind of up my game a little bit, and I just wanted to do it for the team because it helped the team because maybe some guys can play guard but they can't play center, and I want to be that guy that could do both.
What were the biggest kind of takeaways you got from Bach and other people about when they moved over? What did you learn from them?
I just learned from them. You just got to rep it. It takes a lot of just snapping the ball thousands of times. That's the biggest thing I've learned. So which is good. I mean, I had a little bit of time on the front end to kind of start snapping like weeks leading up to spring ball. I mean, me, DJ, and other quarterbacks and stuff, we'd snap hundreds of balls a week and kind of do stuff like that. I'd say that, and then just being a really good communicator. You got to be very clear and precise with all the words you're saying because you got to make sure other guys are listening to you, which honestly might sound easy a little bit, but when you're going like on a 10-15 play drive and everyone's just like cooked, you still got to be there up here for your guys.
Are you building a different chemistry and relationship with the quarterbacks, especially DJ, because of this?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah, because I just think I'm working directly with them every day. It's not like I never talked to DJ when I was playing guard, but I do think it's a little bit different at center because he needs me and I need him. Just like snapping balls. Like if I was playing guard, I'm not gonna go and snap balls to them after practice or on our free time. But I think kind of now that we're working together a little bit, and I think we also have some similar roles. As a quarterback, you got to be able to push the tempo, kind of lead the offense a little bit. And as a center, I mean, I got to push the tempo too. I got to be in good shape. My mind has to be sharp because I have to be the first guy because I'm the guy that snaps the ball, and I got to make sure I get set so that all my guys in the O-line can get set and stuff like that.
What about pre-snap? I know everybody knows what's going on, but it's a different deal when what the center has to do.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And I would say this year it's a little bit different because we got some young guys kind of coming up, like, you know, Brian Tucker, John Williams, and I mean, they're doing a great job, but they haven't had necessarily just a ton of, you know, in-game experience yet. And I think it's a little bit important for me at first to kind of almost overdo it to make sure everyone's on the same page, because, you know, coach would always say if we're all wrong, we're all right, you know. So I think it's just kind of the biggest thing, kind of doing that.
Speaking of some of the younger guys, what are you kind of just seen from, you know, Colin Sadler and Blake Miller just since they've arrived on campus?
I think they're going to be great players. They're going to be great players. I love, they have a great work ethic. They're about it, and they're just football guys. They're football guys. We can be outside the facility just hanging out, but I love it that I see a young guy who just got here, who should be in high school. You know, they're always just thinking about football and how they can get better. In the weight room, they're about it. They're dogs. They always say yes and never say no. You know, if I want to go, like Blake, if I want to go get some extra work, and I can tell him, hey man, you know, come work out with me in my garage in my house. He's like, I'm there. You know, and I really love that, and just to see that in a guy who's already, both of them that are so young, I think the sky's the limit for him, and I can't wait to see it.
Young guys take a long time on the offensive line. It takes.
I would say, it definitely takes a little bit longer than other positions. I mean, obviously some guys are different than others on their how fast they can progress. Offensive line just a little bit different. It's not just about, you know, how much of a freak you are physically. It's also up top mentally, and you got to be able to be coordinated with your feet and stuff. And also for us, like bigger guys, especially, you know, for some of the younger guys who just get in here, they're still so young that they're not really even coordinated with their body yet. Kind of they're moving around. It's just kind of awkward, you know. And then also you have to go against another, you know, grown man across on the D line, which can be difficult at first.
How different would you say Tristan Lee is? We've heard he's made a lot of progress.
Yeah, I think Tristan's gotten a lot better. I think it started with his mindset. I think he's he's getting more comfortable with himself. I think he's kind of feeling good in his own feet. I mean, he's moving around in practice a lot better. I mean, he's doing really well against good players. You know, which I'm really happy for him to kind of see that.
What's it like